Welcome back, my agents, to another episode with the Insured Gamer. We're going to continue our videos, our videos of insurance for the interested. Yes, we are going to learn today about what is an allowed amount, what is a billed amount, what is the discounted or contracted rate, what about out of network. We're going to go over those things today and learn in insurance terms kind of what you can find out, what your insurance agent might be talking about, and some misconceptions about what some things are, while playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, an old, wonderful game. If this is something you're looking for, please stick around and stay tuned.
Be strong.
All right, sorry. For some reason, Steam is a little weird about how it doesn't like to play or do two things at once. But anyways, yes, we're continuing with our insurance for the interested, going over some things, whoops, there we go again. Some things of what insurance means, some terms, what they mean, some misconceptions, yet while playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. I had wanted to build a roller coaster right here. I think I had wanted to build a custom design. I enjoy building custom things, custom roller coasters when I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. This was one of the first games that I played as a child, or one of the first computer games that I played. It's so much fun. Oh, so much fun. Let's see if we can get it to go. I think we might want to back it up a bit. I think I just want to go down and kind of slope it sharp right now, and then we're going to go back up. Yeah, there we go. Because we want to get some height. I want to definitely get some height. All right, that should be good. Oh man, I can go sharp down too. Oh, and twist. Oh yeah. All right. So some of the things that we are going to kind of go over today is, we talked about the deductible. So if you haven't seen that video, it is uh-oh. Oh no, that's right. We don't have any money. We should probably get a loan. All right, we'll finish that later. We should probably get a loan though, for sure. Where's my loan amounts? I don't want vouchers. I just want a loan. Give me a $20,000 loan. The looping roller coaster. Let's continue this. There we go. Anyways, if you haven't seen the deductible video yet, I would say it's almost required in order to watch this video, because you won't know some of the terms that we're going to be going through before doing this video, such as what is a deductible. You know, that is a huge thing. You need to know what a deductible is in order to know kind of more about this video. So definitely go and watch that before you get into this one. All right, I'm probably not as good as I think that I am about building these stupid things. Probably not at all. Let's just go here, and can I go down a little bit? Oh, I can. Oh yeah, here we go. And shoot out there. All right. So anyways, when we're specifically talking about, like we did last time, about in-network doctors. Again, these are the doctors that are contracted. That's another kind of word that we tend to use, that are contracted with your insurance company. Meaning they have a contract of an amount that they are only allowed to charge for certain services. So this is what an allowed amount is. It is that contracted amount that they are not allowed to charge over for something. Now, can't go there. Oh, we could do the ride photo section though. Let's do that. Because that gets some extra money. It's not very big, but I'm okay with it. Let's go bigger. And turn the opposite way. You know what? I don't like that. I don't think I like that. Because we're going to have to make a sharp turn to get it around here. I think we'll just kind of go up again. Just kind of do a little loop-de-loop. There we go. Get it to go down all the way to the ground. And now let's turn. Let's do one more before we turn. Sorry, and this is why I don't like building custom ones, is because I can't talk and build a custom one at the same time. I have to think about what I'm doing. Might need some brakes there. Okay, let's throw a brake here. Brake and then turn. And perfect. Alright, let's get our entrance going. We always want the entrance to kind of be towards the front. The exit can be wherever, I don't care. We want them coming in quicker. Let's do this. Alright, so yeah, when we're talking about insurance and going to an in-network doctor, we mentioned that how a contracted amount or an allowed amount. So whenever you hear an insurance agent say, oh yes, they can only charge you the allowed amount, that means that it is the provider. Again, provider is a doctor or someone that is providing services, so it could be a hospital. But a provider, a doctor, a facility can only charge what the allowed or contracted amount is that the insurance company has determined. Now, it is a long, painstaking process that insurance companies and providers, doctors, will go through to determine what the contracted amount is. They set it. Every doctor is different. Much like you go, and I learned this very recently, much like you go to Publix and pay $10 for something, you go to Walmart for the same exact item and you pay $5 for it. The same exact item. Why and how they can do that, I have no idea. But doctors can do the same thing. And you might think that's a little sad, but I mean, it is what it is. Some doctors are higher prestige than others and think of themselves as better, which, I mean, it's very true. Some doctors can be better than others. I'm not denying that at all. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Man, someone needs to cut the grass over here. All right, what are we looking at here? For our, they usually tell you, go green, let's charge mission price. We definitely want to kick that up to like at least 6, if not more. Let's go 7. There we go. Photo, I'm okay. Yeah, same throughout the whole price. Usually it'll tell you what the nauseous rating is. There we go. Intense, very high. I think this is all good. Excitement rating is high, so that's good. So yeah, good, excellent. So yes, contracted rates are all different from doctors, and a lot of people, I would get phone calls all the day. Well, why is this doctor charging more? Well, that's because they have a different contracted rate. They have a different allowed amount. Again, that's the same as contracted rate. Contracted rate, allowed amount is the exact same. It's just two different terms for the same thing. Sorry, sound went out there just for a second. But yes, what I was saying is that's the same, two different terms, the same meaning though. Allowed amount, contracted amount. Now, one of the terms that you'll hear though is also the billed amount. Now, there is a difference in this when we're looking at going to the doctor. So say you go to the doctor. I just went myself for my physical, I think is what it was. But when I got the bill, they wanted to bill me, and I'm just using random numbers because I can't remember exactly what the what the charges were and how much they cost. But they wanted to, let's just say they wanted to bill me $500. However, the contracted or allowed amount was $100. So that means, and you might freak out when you see $500, oh my goodness, but then it'll probably say on your bill, say insurance paid or insurance allowed amount is $100. That means that they can only charge you $100. So if you ever go and let's say get something and a bill and you've met your deductible. Again, deductible, go back to the last video, but say you've met your deductible and insurance is supposed to be paying 90%, but your bill says insurance paid 0. Call the insurance company and ask them, hey, my bill says something different than me meeting my deductible. And they'll go over it with you, and they'll hopefully, depending on the rep that you get, but hopefully what I would have done is I would call the doctor's office for you and say, hey, this member's met their deductible, but it says on their bill that they haven't. But remember, the billed amount is different typically, I would say 99% of the time. It's going to be different than what the allowed amount or the contracted amount is. So again, if you get a bill that says $500 is our billed amount, but then the contracted amount, again, 99% of the time, it's going to be lower. Now, I won't say significantly, it might only be $1 lower, but it's going to be lower. Now, I say 99% of the time because there is a 1%, and I'll say 99.9% of the time. In the years that I worked as an insurance agent, I did have one, I want to say actually about 3 times that the billed amount was the same as the contracted amount. So, a lot of times you'll have insurance agents, they'll say, oh yes, your billed amount might be 1, but you're going to get a discount. Well, I never like to use discount because discount almost infers that you're going to get something off. Well, no, it's not really a discounted amount. It is rather a contracted amount. And that way it'll infer the saying, okay, well, it might be different then. The contract might be different. When you say discount, then usually people are like, oh, it's a discount. Well, no, it might be the same because the contract might be the same. So, this machine's making some money. I think. It should be making some money. Yeah, total profit is $1,500. That's good. Let's look at our cash flow. Oh, good for this month. That's because we haven't had any ride construction. So just make sure you know that the billed amount when we're talking about in-network, I can't stress that enough, in-network, you're going to have a billed amount, which is what they want to bill you. The doctors want to bill you for all the stuff that they've used, for the needles that they've used, for the room that you've sat in. Then when they pull out that little plastic wrap to go over the seat that you sit in, that's a part of your billed amount. But if you have insurance, they're going to have a contracted amount. Again, that contracted amount, and I'll say it 99.9% of the time, it's going to be lower. I have only seen it happen twice where the contracted amount was higher than the billed amount, meaning that the insurance contract, say that the doctor wanted to bill, I think it was like $95, but the contracted amount was $100. Well, it ended up that the doctor went back and charged the member the extra $5. And that was like that was one time that I saw where the insurance actually didn't do any good. But that was the 0.1% that I've ever seen it. So don't freak out. It's practically never happens. And that was one, I think I might have had it happen 2 times within the, good grief. I took 500 calls a month, roughly, every month. And so, you got to think of thousands upon thousands of calls that I took. I only saw it happen 2 times. So don't freak out. That, again, that's almost a never happens kind of situation. I don't want to say never again. I think I mentioned in the last episode, we never say it oh, absolutely. We never say that in insurance because it can always change. It can always differ from contract to contract. So we never say absolute. So that is the billed amount versus the contracted amount. Now again, I say it over and over again that it's the, oops, we're speaking about the in-network provider doctors is because it is different when you go to out-of-network doctors. Oh, is this the one with the loop-de-loops? Give me the loops. Give me the loops. This is the loops. I think it's the turbine. I don't want all the stuff though. Don't include the scenery. There it is. This is the most profit-generating roller coaster I think that the game has. Oh, look at, oh, that's beautiful. Can I flip it? It was there, I saw it. Yes, right here. That's where I want it. Look at that, sticking it right in there. And yes, that is what she said. And we'll go over that. That's a whole nother ballpark when you're talking about out-of-network doctors, out-of-network providers. It's a whole different ballpark when you're. Why can't I get the right camera angle for this? There. This is the camera angle I want. We're gonna have to go up and over, I think, which is fine. Like that'll it'll make it fun and interesting. I want to go this way. Can I? Yeah. I want to go up, up, up. And I think I can go over right here. Yeah. And go down, down. Uh-oh, that's not good. Might have to do that a little different. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go over, over. And then down, down. Yeah, that looks good. I like it. And we'll go over out-of-network stuff at probably a different video, more than likely, because that can be overwhelming. A lot. I'll say if you have the opportunity, don't ever go to an out-of-network doctor. And I mean, that might be you know, like self-explanatory, but it truly. I also understand though that sometimes you have a doctor that you like. Yeah, just make sure you have insurance that has good out-of-network benefits. All right, I think yeah we can open this. Yeah, cool. That's going to generate a lot of money. I'm excited about that, and it was practically. I don't want to say practically free, but it was basically free. I mean, that turbine, and if you, whoops, and if you don't include scenery on that, that's a good deal. You know, how much was that? $2,000. You know, 2,000. That's a steal for 2,000. Do I have any more food stuff? I need some more food stuff. All right, so I think, so what we were looking for as well, we needed to have, what was it, 200 guests? Have 250 guests, which we're way over that. We're at 552. And have a park rating of at least 600, which I think our park rating, oh yeah, we're at 800, so we're good. As long as we don't kill anybody, we'll be doing good. All right, so we went over the discounted and contracted rates as well. So that's, and I'll say it this, next video we'll probably go over out of network. Well, no, yeah, we have time. We have time. All right, so yeah, let's do it. Let's do it today. We've got time, I think. So I was referring to a bunch of in-network information. So you got your deductible that is in-network. Let's just say it's $500. And again, watch the previous video. That means the provider is only going to bill you the allowed or contracted amount. They might try to bill you something more, but then it's going to come back that the insurance has said this is the allowed amount. Uh-oh. Merry-go-round hasn't been fixed. How long has it been closed? Let's put another construction dude out there. Yeah, we've only got two. Let's put another one. So the provider's only going to bill you the allowed amount or the contracted amount. Again, those are both the same thing. That is going to be your discounted or contracted rate if it's in network with the insurance company. But it's totally different when you deal with out-of-network stuff. When you deal with a doctor who is not contracted, who does not have an allowed amount, who does not have a contracted amount. It's different. Your whole insurance policy potentially could change. So I'll say, I don't want to say on every policy, again, we don't deal in absolute things, but on most policies, your out-of-network benefits are going to be different than your in-network benefits. Your deductible is going to be different, more than likely. So for instance, my policy that I have an in-network deductible, I have in-network stuff, but I don't have out-of-network coverage, meaning that I pay 100% and my insurance doesn't even do anything. A lot of, if you have, let's just say, a 90% co-insurance, again, look at the previous video about what co-insurance is. If you have a 90% co-insurance level for in-network, it might only be 70% or 50% out of an out-of-network, meaning that once you met your deductible, your out-of-network deductible, the insurance is going to pay even less. 50% versus what if you went to an in-network person where they would pay 90%. And again, the deductible is going to be different, where if you have an in-network deductible of $500, an out-of-network deductible might be $1,500. And it's like significantly more. And again, that's actually a fairly low deductible. $500 deductible is actually pretty decent. I've seen a lot of deductibles, at least the portion that I worked at was, I would say, around $3,500 deductible. But when you went to out-of-network, it was double the amount, out-of-network deductible, of where they would see $7,000 deductible. Now, here's where the kicker is that a lot of people don't know, and a lot of insurance agents don't tell you. And it's not that they don't tell you because they're neglecting to tell you, because honestly, we want you to go to in-network providers because it's much cheaper on you, and like we don't get anything out of it. Like if you go to in-network versus out-of-network, and so we want to save you money. I would save money any way I could for the people that I helped. But this is something not that they don't want to tell you, but rather they don't either know how to explain to you, or haven't been taught, or don't think of. But that an out-of-network, and this is key. When we were talking about that billed amount, say the doctor wants to bill you $500. And if he's in network, going back to the example we were using, if he's in network, then he could only charge you, hey, we made it, he could only charge you $100. That in-network provider would have to stick to that $100. They couldn't charge you anything over it. I'm glad we achieved that. That's awesome. That's good. We're going to stay with this game for the remainder of this video, and then we'll probably switch over to a new one. So, in-network provider, they want to charge you $500. The contract says they can only charge $100. That's what they have to stick to. They can only charge that $100. For an out-of-network doctor, let's just say that they want to charge you $500. And the insurance's allowed amount is only $100. So much like the in-network doctor, but you're going out of network. Here's the kicker. The insurance company will only apply their allowed amount, or we call it customary and reasonable amount, meaning that it is the allowed or contracted amount for in-network providers. So I know that this is a lot of information coming at you, but just strap it on. Again, you're going to an out-of-network doctor, and you're going and they want to bill you $500. Well, typically the insurance says, oh, well, for those services, all of our in-network doctors, we only charge $100. They can only charge $100. So if you go into an out-of-network doctor, we're only going to apply $100 because that's what we do for in-network doctors. So when you go to an out-of-network provider and they charge you $500, the insurance only applies that customary and reasonable rate, again, we're just going to say for kicks and giggles it's $100. They only apply that customary and reasonable rate, that typical in-network charge. They only apply that towards your out-of-network deductible. So again, your deductible when you're going in-network versus out-of-network, it's going to be different regardless, more than likely. But even what is applied towards your deductible is going to be different. So say, again, you've got a $500 deductible for in-network, and let's just say $1,000. We're just going to keep it round, simple numbers. Say you have a $1,000 out-of-network deductible. Well, you go to an out-of-network doctor, they're going to charge you $500, but the insurance company is going to only apply the customary and reasonable rate, or what, again, that it might be called the allowed amount. They're only going to charge that to your deductible. So when you go and you think, oh, I got a $500 bill, oh, that's going to be applied to my $1,000 out-of-network deductible. No, sir, no, ma'am. It's only going to be the customary and reasonable amount, which is that $100 that, again, is usually the average of what the in-network doctors are. And so that is the big deal of why we don't want you to go to an out-of-network doctor, is because it's not only going to be more expensive, but we don't apply all of it. And so when you get that billed amount that we were talking about for the in-network doctors, when they said, oh, here's the billed amount, but you have a contracted amount that's only $100, well, that billed amount, if you go to an out-of-network doctor, they charge you $500, it's the same thing. You're going to have to pay that $500, and the insurance is only going to apply that $100 to your deductible. And so it's going to take longer. And to go even further, let's just say you've got that $1,000 out-of-network deductible that we're working on here, and you go to the doctor enough times to finally meet that out-of-network deductible. Woo-hoo! You've made it. Congratulations, you have met your $1,000 deductible. Now, out-of-network deductible. Now, you get to go and get your co-insurance. Yippity-doo-dah! Let's just say it's 50%. Yeah, they're going to pay 50%. The insurance is going to pay 50% of my bill now. Nope. Let's hold up. Hold your horses. Now, going back to our example of $500 is the billed amount, the allowed amount is, or the contracted amount, or the customary and reasonable rate is only $100. The insurance is only going to as well apply that 50% co-insurance to that $100. They will not apply it to the billed amount. Again, unless your contract states something different, but I'd say 99% of the time, it's only going to be towards that customary and reasonable rate. Now again, and why we say that there's no, we don't use absolutes on in insurance is because, honestly, I have seen contracts where it specifically states we will cover at the bill charges, which means if the doctor bills that $500 out of network, then the insurance is going to apply that $500 out of network. Now, again, that is super rare. I mean, and it's in certain circumstances. Usually, when that would be like for emergency uses. They'll say, okay, if it was an emergency, we're going to cover you at the billed amount, so that you can't, because it was an emergency. You didn't have any other choice. But again, out of network doctors, we really don't want you to see them, because you're going to get charged more than you think you're going to get charged. So that's what it is when it comes to that out of network stuff. Again, you've got in network where they have to stick to the contract. The bill, but the out of network, they do not have to stick to that contract. They can overbill you. And another term that sometimes a lot of insurance agents will use is they can balance bill you, meaning they can bill you for the remaining balance over that customary and reasonable rate, so over that $100. Again, I'm just using simple as far as money, $500, $100. I'm using that as an example because they're nice round numbers. Now, they're all going to be different. All doctors are different. They charge different things. The services you get, could be thousands of dollars, but the concept is still the same, whether it's $500 or $1,000 or $50,000. Like, it's still going to be the same as far as the billed amount versus the contracted amount versus an out-of-network doctor going to balance bill you for the amount that the in-network stuff doesn't cover for your insurance. So that's what we went over today. Again, this has been Insurance for the Interested. We already covered the deductible information, and then this time we covered some more information, which is the allowed amount and the contracted information, the contracted amount. Feel free to rewind these or watch them again because it's a lot of information. Again, it took me 6 weeks to learn this information. But the deductible was the first stuff that we started off with, learning about what a deductible was, and how an allowed amount and a contracted amount was. But again, in network, just remember, in network they have to stick to that contracted amount. Out of network, they do not have to stick to that contracted amount. However, the insurance is going to stick to that contracted amount and only apply benefits to that contracted amount, or what we call customary and reasonable rate. So yeah, this has been the Insured Gamer playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, Insurance for the Interested. I'm sure we'll have some more videos on this. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next time. If you have questions about insurance, because it can be very confusing. If you have questions about insurance, by all means, leave them down in the comments. I'll try to answer them the best to my ability, or at least look it up. I still work in the insurance company, and so I have connections about if questions that I don't know. I can certainly look them up for you and find out more information. So if you do have questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments, and I'll be able to answer them to the best of my ability and find the answer at least for you. All right, until next time, my agents, stay safe out there.